am here with Don Wiley, Gold Wingnut Productions. If you've been in the villages, I'm sure you know who Don is. Don's also a county commissioner. And if you want to know about construction going on in the villages or pretty much anything that's happened around here in the last few years, this is your guy right here. This is Mr. Information. So we thought we'd bring him on tonight. And first of all, we'd like to find out a little bit about, you've got a podcast.
Yep. Every Sunday at 3 o'clock.
Every Sunday at 3 o'clock. And what you before you were doing the videos, and now you're doing a live show along with that, or
doing them both?
Doing them both.
Doing them both. Yeah. Which is time consuming, to say the least.
And you're doing it for fun, because what else? Why else would you be doing it?
Yeah, well, it's for fun, but the whole crux of what I do is trying to get good information out to people. Because when I started this 8 years ago, there was so much misinformation floating around out there, and people didn't know what they were talking about, and I was going, "That's not right." So I decided it's time to step up and provide some good information. And
you do provide good information, because you're like Deb's. My wife is always like, "Oh, Don's got to do a video. Better check it out. Better find out what's that piece of ground doing over there that we thought was going on." So, how much? You got to do a lot of research. You must be doing some research besides just flying your drone around to see what's going on.
Most of what I do is research. For a 30, 35-minute video, I probably put in 10, 12 hours of research, and it's cumulative. Because, sure, I'll go research Eastport for a while, and then that knowledge is in my head. And it's just a matter of, okay, now there's more developing, so to share a little bit different information. But the villages is doing so much all the time. Trying to keep up with them, I consider that a personal challenge. And it is difficult, but I know the places to look for information. And the other part is I have construction background, so I can read plans.
Yeah,
I can understand what's going on.
Well, and it's multi-county now. You don't get to just go to one county. You got to go to 3 at least.
Well, fortunately, most of it's in Sumter County. Right now there's a little bit of work going on in Lake County, south of the village of Dabney and Lake Denham.
Yep.
On the south side of 470, they've started some clearing of land. The roads have started showing up on the village's maps. That's supposed to be, my understanding is that's where Fire Station 50 is going to be going.
Okay.
Which obviously we need another fire station down there, just because there's so many houses there, and the next closest one, well, the new one, 49, is close, but it's still, a mile and a half away, and that's a lot of time when you're trying to deal with an emergency with somebody's life.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
So, before 49 opened up, they were having to rely on 47, which is up by the annex on, which road is that? Morse Boulevard, just past Chitty Chatty. That was a long haul. If you try and go down Megason,
yeah,
from Warm Springs down, it is a long haul.
And even as an emergency vehicle, there's still always traffic, and it's. Yeah. So, speaking of traffic,
here we go. Oh
no. What do you know as far as what's going to be changed on 301? Let's start with 301.
So 301 is being widened to 4 lanes. Right now, we'll start at the north end at the turnpike. That is a temporary interchange, the restructuring that they've done. Mm-hmm. They've got some more planned. Part of the plan, though, is that's going to stay like that for a couple of years. Then when they start widening the turnpike, because the turnpike is being widened to 4 lanes in each direction. So they not only have to make the bridges wider, but they're going to lengthen the span so that gives us more room for additional lanes under the turnpike. From the turnpike, it goes south past Warm Springs Avenue, just past Warm Springs.
Yep.
There's a church right there. And as you get past the church, there's going to be a bypass for the city of Coleman.
Going to bypass off to the left, correct?
It's going to bypass off to the left. If you were to look at a map, 301 does a right-hand turn, a right angle turn,
correct,
right there in 301. And we're just making a hypotenuse of the right triangle. And that'll come out to 525 East, which is Industrial Park Drive now, where the Rick Scott Industrial Park is at. And then it continues all the way down to 470, where the new county service center is being built. That's all going to be 4 lanes. There's going to be a traffic light at Warm Springs and 301, a traffic circle at Marsh Bend Trail.
And we love our traffic circles.
Well, you wouldn't know that by the emails I get. There is a crusade against the traffic circle right there at 301 and Marsh Bend Trail. A lot of the folks in DeLuna don't want it.
But they are a faster way.
They are much faster. It calms the traffic a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So it causes people to slow down. But if you go through like this evening when we get done here, okay, you go through from here all the way up to the north end. You're going to just fly right through those traffic circles.
Right.
And even during the day, okay, you got to slow down, but everything
You're not
keeps
stopping.
moving. Yeah, you're not stopping.
Yeah.
Waiting for a traffic light or what have you.
Yeah.
And then, so that's 301, and then the county is working to widen 301 to 4 lanes, all the way down south of where 470 once again jogs off towards the I-75, and we're looking at rerouting 471. Which is a state road that goes down to Webster.
So
because the interchange down there for 471 and 470 and 301, it is absolutely hideous. 20 years ago when they built it, okay, but we got a lot more industry, we got a lot more trucking going on, so that's a whole lot. But it's going to be 4 lanes. It's definitely needed. And so we'll see. Yeah,
absolutely needed. And construction is just one of those things that it sucks why it's happening, but at the end of the day, it's a necessity. But it never stops here. That's the thing. I think people are just kind of like, when is it going to end? Yeah, let's hope it doesn't end, because
that would be it would be devastating to the economy of Sumter and the surrounding counties.
Yeah.
You're talking, the villages employs about the villages and their contractors employ about 15,000 people.
Yeah.
That's critical to the economy.
Yeah. And certainly to this area. Absolutely.
And I've talked about it many times on my show. Okay, they stop building. Okay, what happens to those construction workers? They leave.
Right.
Okay. If they leave, they're taking their families with them.
Yeah, correct.
And, while Joe the plumber may be leaving, Sally, who works up at the village's hospital as a nurse, she's leaving with them. And their daughter, who works at Publix, and their son, who works at McDonald's, they're all leaving with them. That has a huge negative impact on our businesses when they can't get people.
Right. It is something that you never want that to recede, because if it recedes, you're exactly right. You're going to have people leaving and other things in critical people, doctors, all that stuff, which the villages, we need our share of doctors and all that kind of stuff. How far, a lot of people have a pretty good idea, but a lot of people don't have. How far down south do you think they're going to be going? Are they going to Bushnell, as far as Bushnell, with the villages?
Well, right now, the bulk of the property ends at 48. That's where Center Hill is.
Yeah.
Okay. There is some property on the south side of 48. That's part of the old Renaissance Trail development. It's now part of the villages. They bought that Renaissance Trail development a couple of years ago. Now, what's interesting is they bought 900 acres right outside of Mascot. And you look at it, it's not attached to the Renaissance Trail, old Renaissance Trail property, but it's within like a mile.
Okay.
And when you go digging through the county records, which that's what I like doing, there a lot of names start popping up that are familiar.
Okay.
And people that have had long-standing relationships with the developer. Will they sell? Yeah, I mean, I can look at my crystal ball and say probably so.
Yeah.
But it's just an ongoing process. They'll buy whatever land people are willing to sell them, and that's the thing that I hear from the local county residents. They're upset that the village is buying up all this land. They're being greedy, and I can't help but think to myself, wait a minute. Somebody had to sell them that land. Nobody was holding a gun to their head.
Yeah.
And who was greedy? Maybe it was the person who was selling. They wanted the money. I don't know. Of course, our lifestyle is changing in this country. Not everybody wants to continue in the family farm business.
Right.
And that puts
not everybody can afford to stay in the family farm business too. So change makes change, and that's so that's the one thing I hear the same thing sometimes. When are they going to stop? And my thought is, please, not why we're here, because it will not be a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the county's trying to set ourselves up for that eventual transition.
Yeah.
We've got the Rick Scott Industrial Park. Next to it is the Marlino Tool Industrial Park, which they're just now doing groundwork on.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the 5,500 acres that makes up the Monarch Ranch Industrial Park, which is just north of those two. That's really where Sumter County's future is going. We're hoping to attract some businesses in that will occupy this area and bring plenty of jobs and a good tax base.
Yeah. Well, because it's going to require that tax base to keep the services that we have today. Keep paying for them and keep adding to it as we need it.
Yeah.
So, because it can't, right, once the house is built, the house is sold, you're depending on property tax, and as we know, that could change. That could change soon, too, which could be a whole nother math problem. But
a major math problem.
Yeah.
The folks in Tallahassee are not thinking. They're not thinking this through.
Yeah, because we just went through this with the fire stuff. It kind of got that somewhat settled, right? I know we're paying more, and
yeah. Well, I mean, we're paying more because we're getting more services.
Yeah.
I mean, when COVID struck, we had like 6 ambulances serving the county, and they were contracted. So that's all the contractor would put on because that's all he could make money at.
Yeah.
Well, now we've got nearly 20 ambulances between the 2 fire departments.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of overhead costs associated with manning those. You got 3 or 4 times as much in people cost and all that. So that all had to be accounted for, and that's why we had to do the fire assessment and that.
But the response time is remarkable.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, the days of waiting 45 minutes for an ambulance are over. I mean, I remember during COVID, my mom was still alive. She was living with us. She took a fall. I mean, the firefighters were right there. We were just a mile down the road from Station 45. But it took a good 45 minutes to get an ambulance there to transport her to the hospital. And of course, she's upset, and it was not a good thing. Now, 5-8 minutes is the norm and what's expected. And really, it's what's needed. Now, in the county, the fire stations are a lot farther apart. They got a lot bigger area to service, so the response time is not as high. It's in the 10 to 15 minute range, but that's still better than what it was. Because if we had an accident on I-75 or the Turnpike that tied up 3 or 4 ambulances, man, that shut down the rest of the county's service. Right.
Yeah. So, well, I need more growth to pay for more of that stuff. Now, the villages, they're adding fire stations as they develop.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've been in the fire stations. Look around. They got maps up that show them where everything is at. And when you look down in the southern section that's not being developed yet, that's CDD 17 and 18 and 19. Those are all mapped out already.
Yeah.
There's at least 2 more fire stations planned to the south of 48 and to the south of Middleton and Eastport.
Yeah. So what is the question that you get asked the most on your podcast or your YouTube channel?
Man, I get so many questions. Everybody wants to know about everything, you know.
I know they always want. I know my wife kept saying, "When are they going to build a Chick-fil-A down here?" But I guess we've answered that question now.
Chick-fil-A is coming. It's basically right across the street from Twisty Treat, the new ice cream store.
Yeah.
You know, so that's good. You know, I get a lot of questions about future commercial development down in the south part and what's coming to Eastport. And the villages has been, over the last 6 months, they've been trickling out information. Yeah, every couple of weeks, we've got this store coming and we got this restaurant coming. And so they're letting it out, and I don't want to say they're baiting people, but they're keeping people's interest. So that's coming along. But you know, probably the biggest question is about a hospital.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because you know, a few years back we had there was a hospital planned. It was supposed to be a research and teaching hospital with the University of Florida.
And that was right off 44 here, wasn't it? The plan?
No, it was where was it? I'm trying to. So it would be just north of 470.
Oh, okay.
On the west side of the turnpike, and there's a triangular section of Lake County right there. Unfortunately, you know, we had a very liberal college and university trying to run a hospital, and a very conservative developer, and
couldn't make it work.
It was tough, and then we got some county commissioners in that decided, well, we need to let's stick it to the developer and raise impact fees, and that was, you know, it helped tip the domino to make things fall apart. So that deal is basically done.
Yeah. But impact fees, for people who don't know what those are, if you're developing a piece of commercial property, you are assessed an impact fee along with your building permit, right, at that time?
Yes.
And that impact fee is what impact is your business going to possibly have on the road, correct?
Yep.
And the service work that it's going to take to maintain that road, and it's probably got, it's not a guess, but it's a guesstimate of some sort.
I mean, it's based on a lot of calculations.
Yes.
We have to.
It's substantial. I can attest to that. It's very substantial.
Yeah. Try a gas station. I mean.
I can only imagine.
So a gas station, I think it's like $5,000 per pump that they get assessed. So if you got 16 pumps, that's $80,000.
Yeah.
Plus the building.
Right.
You know, that's based on square footage.
Yes.
I think 2,000 and 4,000 square feet and so on and so forth. So there's additional cost there.
Yeah, for people who don't understand all of the fees that go with building this commercial stuff, and people say they want more of it, and I totally agree, we do need more of it, but it takes a long time to get building permits. The Sumter County, the city of Wildwood, and all those places you guys are backed up.
Actually not.
Are you slowing down now? Because when I built it was backed up.
So actually, the state legislature passed some laws last year that basically, I think we got like 3 weeks to get a permit turned.
Oh, wow. Well, that's great news. Yeah.
And Sumter County has always been really good at turning permits. They're very well practiced at it. It was so good, in fact, that when Lake Denham, Dabney, and Newell were starting to be built, Lake County wasn't set up for that volume.
Okay.
So they basically outsourced the permitting process and the approval processes for all those 3,300 homes down there to Sumter County.
Oh, okay.
Which actually was good for Sumter County because we didn't have to lay people off because we had a big slowdown. Excuse me. So it actually balanced out and it worked out for everybody. And Lake County reimbursed us. So, you know, it was basically a zero cost to the county, but it kept good people employed.
Oh, it's really hard to. I mean, those people are skilled. It's you don't want to lose them, especially when they know your rules.
Yeah.
And so all those impact fees and that stuff, it's expensive, and running a business anywhere is expensive. But running a business around here is expensive because there's a lot of population. It's not cheap. So.
Yeah. I mean, the new Walmart and the new Costco, they paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in impact fees.
Oh, if not more, I'm sure.
It was a huge amount.
Yeah.
But it's a necessary evil.
Yeah. That's like paying the bond for your home. It's in
a way,
that's kind of an impact because you're paying for all of the infrastructure that got put in there to build your house on.
Yeah.
So 165,000 residents now currently in the villages, give or take. Have you heard any numbers of where they think it'll be in 20 years?
Double. Probably close to that, yeah. They own a tremendous amount of acreage to the south. Some of it they're turning right now under CDD 16. If you go south, and if you look south of Shallow Creek Country Club, you can see more work going on down there. That's CDD 17. Excuse me. Of course, there's Middleton, which they're turning a lot there. And a little bit over in Buffalo Springs, which is another area. There's so much coming. It's crazy.
So if you don't like the house that you're in, you'll have multiple opportunities to upgrade.
Yes.
Which you've done, right? You just moved to Eastport, didn't you?
Well, no. It's a tough one. We had a house.
Yeah.
In Hillsboro, and I had this great idea. The finances look good. I said, let's buy a house and rent it out.
Oh, okay.
And that was the plan. Everything looked good. And then my wife dropped a bomb on me. She said, I don't want to live in this house anymore. She was talking about her old house. And I was like, okay, why? And then she told me, and it related to our son who had passed away 2 years earlier. There was no further discussion. I said, I'll work it out. So she lives in the new house full time. We sold the old house, and I have an apartment. And that's because I'm a county commissioner. I have to.
Oh, you've got to live here in the county.
I got to reside in my district.
Yes.
I reside in my district, but I serve everybody in the county.
Yeah.
Because we're all elected at large.
Yeah.
So we just redrew the maps a couple of months ago for the districts. There was a lot of speculation about it, but really it had to do with the tremendous amount of growth that we've had in the last 5 years. There was a huge shift to the south.
Oh, yeah.
And we tried to rebalance that. So there were some changes for Todd and Todd Kuhn and Deb Butterfield, two of the other commissioners, and myself. But the big changes were for Jeff Bogue and Andy Billardello. Basically, they restructured it. Andy has the new areas, and Jeff Bogue has basically the areas outside of the villages, the rural part of the population. Again, we all serve all the residents. Yeah. So
you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So how's apartment life?
Sucks. I'm actually looking right now to find another house because the kids upstairs are just stomping all the time. I guess I'm just getting old,
Yeah.
But so I'm looking for either a patio villa or a courtyard villa in my district. So that'll be like Hillsboro, Lake Deaton, Tamarind Grove, one of those areas, and then I'll move into that. And I've ran the numbers.
Yeah.
With the cost of apartment rent compared to a mortgage.
Yeah.
I just want the mortgage rates to come down just a little bit more.
I think everybody in the villages would like the mortgage rates to come down just a little bit. I mean, home sales they're not stale, but they're not as fast as they were. And interest
they have not fallen off as much as some people think.
Yeah, there's a few more pre-owns for sale, but not. I mean, it's not an issue, but it's just.
But why is that? You can't look at just the raw number though.
Yeah.
You got to look at the percentage. Okay.
Oh, that could be okay.
And because it's grown. When I moved here, there was 54,000 homes. That was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, now there's 75,000 homes.
Yeah. So 50% more.
Yeah. If the percentage stays the same, and it runs about 1.2%.
Yeah.
Well, then you get a big thing. What the hard part is drawing more customers. The new home sales have stayed pretty constant, around 3,500 to 4,000 homes. But the resales, they stay on the market longer because you got more choices.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes it a buyer's market for the
It is.
for the resales, which I'm banking on that.
Yeah.
I'm banking on
But
that.
if interest goes down, those prices will they'll probably stay up a little or stay where they're at, but you might get faster movement on the.
Yeah. I mean, I took 8 months for us to sell our house, and I kicked myself because I drug my feet getting the house ready to put on the market, and I missed the peak, and oh my gosh, I was bleeding money for months. But it sold. The new owner, he's a friend of mine. He and his wife.
You'll make it up on the other one.
Well, the good thing is I'm mortgage free.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, so that's a great feeling, and that's not an uncommon thing here in the villages either, because better than half the homes are mortgage free, which is a pretty good statistic.
Yeah, a lot of people, the cost of living here is not. I think the cost of living here is very reasonable for what you get, but I guess it depends on what part of the country you come from. There are people who come from parts of the country, get here and go, "This is dirt cheap," and there are others that come here and go, "Wow, that's an awful lot of money every month." It's really not, but not for what you get.
No, I mean, people want to complain about the amenity fee. Oh, it went up again. Okay, well, what didn't go up?
Yeah, it's not just here; it's everywhere.
Yeah,
yeah.
But for $205 a month, I think that's the current prevailing rate.
Yeah.
What you get for amenities is phenomenal, and you don't just get access to the amenities near your house. You get access to all the amenities.
Right.
And that makes I mean, how many places do you know that have a ukulele club?
Right. 4,000 potential clubs to go to.
Yeah.
All this free entertainment.
Yep.
And all the selection of the bars and the restaurants and the pickleball and the golf. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And where I came from, my last place was in Georgia. We paid a third of that amenity fees just to pick up our garbage once a week.
Yeah.
Well, now you're getting it picked up twice a week plus all the other stuff included in that. It's really a deal. So
I agree. I mean, I have no regrets. I mean, in my videos, I try to stay positive.
Yeah.
I try to. Is this developer perfect? No. Okay.
No developer, but
they do a good job. They have very competent project managers. When you look at the scale and the magnitude of what they're doing, they're turning 3,500 to 4,000 houses a year. That's 10 houses a day.
Yeah.
Nobody does that.
Yeah.
But they do it well.
And they still change the flowers out at the intersection 4 times a year.
That's not the developer, though.
Oh, that's the CDC?
That's the CDD.
Yeah, CDD,
There's the villages, the community, there's the villages, the developer, and then there's the villages, which is the district government. And people kind of think it's all one, but it's really not. I mean, once the houses are built and the CDD is done, the developer pretty much wipes their hands of it and they move on, because that's what they're doing. They're building houses. So they don't really want to be involved in the day-to-day operation, which has led to some speculation about what's going on. I talked about this 2 weeks ago on my show. I met with people from the bank, Seacoast Bank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When the villages started out, there was nothing out here, and it was dirt poor. So they had to create their own bank.
Yes.
To get people mortgages in that. They don't need to be in that business anymore.
Right.
They don't want to be in that business. They want to be in the business of building houses, which is what they do. Just like they don't want to be in the business of running amenities like rec centers.
Yeah.
So the rec department runs those through the district government, and the developer pays them. But that's why we've had 3 amenities sales, north of 466, and then the 2016 sale between 466 and 44, and then the one that happened 2 years ago. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and that is a huge undertaking in itself.
Oh, expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive. When you look at the dollars invested and compare that to what they collect in amenity fees, because excuse me, throat's a little dry. When the developer owns the amenities, they collect the amenity fees for that area
until they're done.
And until they're done and they decide to sell them.
Yep.
They collect them. They have to pay the taxes. They have to pay the electric, the maintenance and all that. Plus they have to pay to build them. So it's a losing proposition for years, building amenities. When they finally sell them, then they get their money back.
Yeah.
But it's very expensive what they do, but they have a good formula and it works very, very well.
Everything. Look at Eastport. That wasn't a downgrade. It's a beautiful facility.
It's a different concept.
Yep.
I look at it, and you got this whole long waterfront, from basically down by the driving range, and the waterfront by the hotel, and it wraps all the way around to Sunset Island and beyond. And what do you have there? You have a bandstand, and you have a beautiful outdoor concert area.
Yeah.
The water carries the sound well, so they're going to be able to have some huge events there eventually.
Yeah, yep. And it's Eastport still has probably a lot of. There's plenty of growth available yet down there, isn't there, as far as housing?
Oh well, yeah. They've now moved into the village of Long Prairie, which is at the south end of CDD 16. So it's down almost to the Shallow Creek Country Club.
Yeah.
And they're starting in Long Prairie. They're going to move their way north to Merritt Field, and then to Farmstead, and then they'll go back north of Central Parkway once again, and they'll go all the way up to the Turnpike.
Yeah.
And then they'll jump into CDD. Well, yeah, CDD 17 after that, and
are they jumping over 470?
Yeah. So 470 Central Parkway.
Yeah.
It's the same road. That bisects through the middle of CDD 16.
Okay, so there's a lot of development going on the other side of it too. Then, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's tremendous. There right now, just south of, between 470 and the Turnpike, they're laying in the utilities. They're working on the Meadowview Championship course. They just announced the Rock and Roll Rec Center.
Yeah,
they're getting more creative with their theming.
Yeah.
Blanchard is, about balloons. That's supposed to open up sometime this month.
The Mustang one, the
Mustang. There's Pullman, which is about railroad cars.
Yeah.
And then there's another regional rec center, which nothing has creeped out about that on what it's called or what they're going to do with it. But so that's a couple of years down the road.
So you fly your drones quite a bit. What is the funniest thing that you've ever caught in your drones?
Oh, geez. Now you're thinking I'm a flying peeping Tom.
Not thinking that. I just wondered.
You would be surprised. Everybody thinks we're a bunch of flying perverts. And honestly, I'm normally flying 150, 200 feet. I can't make out details of what's going on.
Have people waving at your drone often?
They might wave at the drone. Okay. They have to turn their hearing aids up. When I'm at 150, 200 feet, 250 or even higher up to 400 feet, you can't hear the drone. I can hear it, but I've trained my ear to listen for it because that's my business.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of stupid things. People running traffic lights and stop signs, and I can't tell you the number of people I've seen just blow through traffic stop signs. But not a whole lot to see. I'm not looking at that low level stuff. I'm looking up higher. I'm trying to get a lay of the land.
And you're filming that, so you go back and look at your stuff.
Yeah,
later on, and
I'm busy when I'm flying. I'm looking at my screen on my remote, but I'm also watching the aircraft. So I'm constantly going back and forth. I don't really have the time to focus. I just try and get a good shot, and then.
How many of those have you crashed?
Wow, let's get personal here. Probably 8 or 9. I've had to send probably 15 aircraft back for warranty service because a camera gets screwed up or something like that. But I've had about 8 or 9 wrecks. lost one drone when they were doing the bridge over the Brownwood Bridge over 44. I was stationary there, and I had another drone run into me. And it fell into the lake or retention pond, and never found it. Found the battery for it, found the other drone, found his battery, never found my drone. Maybe one day when they drain that retention pond, they'll scrape up the carcass of it. But that was about a $1,700 loss. That hurt.
And you're not flying the toy drones. You're flying the real stuff. And how long have you been flying drones?
9 years, I think. Yeah, about 9 years now. My wife bought me one of the toy ones for Christmas. She forgot I had this little OCD switch in my brain. Thanks to the Navy. It was the Navy's doing. I operated a nuclear reactor, so it was my job to know everything about the reactor and my equipment, and that just always carried through.
Yeah.
Even after I retired from the Navy, so I got a drone for Christmas, and by April I was buying a real drone, and then by the following that November, 6 months later, I got another one. I still have that one. I still fly it on occasion. It's still a very good aircraft, but the newer ones are faster. They fly longer. That one I was good for 20-25 minutes in the air. Now I can do 40 minutes in the air, double the air time. And of course the cameras are better. That had just a single camera. Now I've got cameras with multiple cameras on the drone with zooming capabilities. So I can go up to 24 or 28 times the normal zoom on it. Yeah.
So you're like one of these people like I am. Once you get into something, look out.
Yeah. I think I've got 11, 12, maybe 13. I just bought 2 more drones in the past year. 3 more drones.
Well, I'm a pilot. I don't currently fly, but I've had 17 airplanes, so that kind of stuff is addictive. So
yeah. I wish I could fly. I mean, I grew up on an Air Force base. I always thought I'd fly. And what did I do instead? I went on submarines. My dad scratched his head. He never figured that one out.
Well, flying drones, I mean, drones are going to be flying people before long. Whereas we're already there. We're just not commercially, it's not out there.
Yeah, commercially, it's still going to be a while. I mean, you always see remember the movie Back to the Future?
Yes. Yeah.
Where they had the drone delivering the pizza?
Yeah.
Never happened. Pizza will be ice cold by the time it gets to you.
Yeah.
There's so much downdraft from the props, but
well, and they keep talking about drone delivery for Amazon and different things. I know it's been tried in a few places. I don't know that's
so it's still in the works. It's UPS was working with CVS for a while, the different models. The problem with drone deliveries is the final mile. Okay, that final delivery. How do you get it to the house? How do you get it to the customer's hands? Because they can't land the aircraft.
Oh, yeah.
They're flying under Part 135 instead of Part 107, so they're commercial airline.
Yeah.
And if they land, they've got to have a licensed pilot there to do the pre-flights before it can take off. Defeats the whole purpose.
So they're using Part 135, just like charter. I used to be a 135 operator. I had a charter company. Yeah.
So what they've got for most of them is either a tether where it lowers it down, or they just
drop it.
You know. Of course, the downside is once it's dropped or once you tether it down, who picks it up?
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, you're not dropping oxycodone off in somebody's yard.
Yeah, I mean, you drop a new iPhone. Okay, that's $1,000.
Yeah,
$1,500. And let's face it, people are going to find ways to beat the system. They're going to find ways to watch for drones, and they're going to see a drone flying overhead, and they're going to follow it along and look for what it drops.
Yeah, we'll have drone pirates.
Yeah.
So.
We got porch pirates, too.
That's right, yeah. Well, Don, I appreciate you coming on and sharing a little bit about your podcast and what you do. And like I said, if you want to watch Don's podcast, hopefully you do, it's Gold Wingnut Productions.
Yes.
And you can find him on YouTube.
Yep.
He's also on Facebook. And what you heard tonight, you can hear that every 2-3 weeks. Don's got very informative information. If you want to know what's going on in the villages, around the villages, this is your guy.
Then don't forget the Sunday broadcast.
And that's right. Sunday broadcast starts at what time?
3 o'clock, and it's basically an open forum. You got a question, I'll try and answer it. I mean,
Yeah. So
it always helps if you got a difficult question. Send it early. Send me an email with it, because sometimes I want to. I got to research.
You got to research it.
Do a little research. I want to have the right answer for you.
Yeah.